The next day, all I did was play with my new toy, and my only toy. We would play games like tic-tac-toe and I Spy, and even hide and seek. Now, of course, I would be the one seeking all the time, and as expected, I would usually win. One day, like always, Mom came home from her usual nights out, and Dad once again started an argument. And Mom once again pulled that "you're just a drunk" card on Dad. But instead of his usual threat of hitting her, there was a loud smack, followed by a faint scream. My heart dropped as I imagined what had happened. I then gathered up the urge to peer over the railing over the living room, and what I saw angered me to the point where I gripped the railing so hard it started to creak and whine. Mom was face down on the floor. When she got up, a small, glimmering red line appeared just beneath her nose. I couldn't watch any longer. I ran to my room and slammed the door. All I could think about that night was the sound the slap made. It echoed through my head like a 4-second track put on loop. I tried to forget about it by playing with Tim, but the more I tried to forget about it, the more angrier it made me. I turned him around to talk to him, but then I realized something was different about his face. He no longer had a face of joy and happiness, but one of rage and anger. It was like I was looking into a mirror. I then decided to put Tim down, brushing off his change in expression as the paint just peeling away. But right before I did, still being angered by the previous events, I whispered, "I hope you die, Dad." The next morning, I was awoken by sirens and rushed downstairs to see what was going on. Mom was by the door, along with 2 cops and a few medics. As soon as they realized me, they put their heads down and walked out the door. Mom waited a few seconds before turning to me and said in a sobbing voice, Your father's dead." I was shocked by what she had told me. I sat down on the first stair and put my hand on my head. I looked up at Mom and asked her how he had died, and she said he'd been murdered. The cops said they didn't know how the intruder got in. There didn't appear to be any signs of a break-in. Me being emotional, I ran upstairs in my room and closed the door behind me. I sat down on my bed, thinking about what I had said last night. I then looked up at the toy box I kept Tim in, and to my surprise, it was slightly ajar. I walked up to it and opened it. Inside the box was Tim, but he wasn't in the same position I left him in before I went to sleep. So I picked him up and turned him over. I was so shocked by what I had seen, I freaked out and dropped him back in the box. He landed face up, looking back at me, with no longer a face of anger or joy, but one of sadness, and along with his change in expression, there were small drops of what seemed to be blood around his white shirt, and next to him was a large knife. His sad expression then turned from sadness to joy, as did mine. I couldn't help but to feel somewhat relieved. My little Tim.